Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the third video for today. Like I said, it's a triple Tuesday. This third and final video of Tuesday is going to be my Gold Coast Titans 2021 NRL predicted team. I've gone through the Gold Coast Titans squad and I've put together my best 1 to 17 for the Titans going into this year. So before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know that 8:30 tonight, New South Wales time, I will be live on Instagram. Just going to talk some rugby league with you guys. So if you guys are not doing anything, 8:30 New South Wales time, come on my Instagram, jump on and have a chat. We'll talk some rugby league and we'll just have a good time. So 8:30 New South Wales time, that's in about 1 hour now. It's currently 7:30 at the moment. This video should be up by 7:50, 8 o'clock. So 8:30, guys, if you're available, come and watch me on Instagram Live. And if you want to join the chat, then feel free to do so. But anyway, guys, let's get into my Gold Coast Titans 2021 NRL predicted team. And like always, I'll go through the 1 to 17, and I'll go through the 4 reserve players I've selected. So this is the Gold Coast Titans 2021 NRL predicted team. Fullback, AJ Brimson. On the wings, Philip Semi and Anthony Don. In the centres, Brian Kelly and Corey Thompson. In the halves, 5'8" Ash Taylor. Halfback, Jamal Fogarty. The front row of Mo Fotuaika and Jared Wallace. The hooker is Mitch Rain. The second row of David Fafita and Kevin Proctor. Proctor is also the captain. The lock is Tino Fulsalamalawi. And on the interchange bench, it is Tyrone Peachy, Herman Essie, Sam Lissone, and Beau Fermor. The coach is obviously Justin Holbrook. And the 4 reserve players, they are Sam McIntyre, Tanner Boyd, Jamin Jolliffe, and Sam Stone. Now, that is my 1 to 17 and the reserves for the Gold Coast Titans. Now, obviously, fullback, AJ Brimson, probably the best fullback the Titans have at their club. And I feel like Brimson is probably one of their best players. So he's obviously going to be starting fullback. And that, for mine, is just a no-brainer. Now, the wingers, I've gone with Philip Semi and Anthony Don. Now, Philip Semi for mine, he makes the team somewhere. He played State of Origin late last year. Clearly wasn't ready for State of Origin level, but he's definitely going to be in the starting side somewhere. So I've got Philip Semi playing on the wing. On the other wing, I've got Anthony Don. The Don is good. Now, the Don is getting a little bit old. He is getting a little bit older, but he still does a job, still scores a lot of good tries. And I think Anthony Don deserves to be in this team. I thought he had a pretty good last year, and I think he'll probably play. He should play well again this year, Anthony Don. So I've got the Don on the wing with Philip Semi. Now in the centres, gone with Brian Kelly and Corey Thompson. Now Brian Kelly, arguably their best centre, probably their best outside back all year last year. If you're going through the whole season and putting it all together, Brian Kelly was probably their best outside back, and I thought he played quite well. Brian Kelly is a really underrated player, and he's a player to watch out for. I think he might have a big year this year, and he obviously makes the centres. And I've gone with the other centre to be Corey Thompson. I know he's normally a winger, but I feel like Corey Thompson's too good of a player to be sitting in the reserves. So I feel like Corey Thompson, if he can maybe play in the centres or something like that. I know he's played fullback in the past and on the wing, but why not try him in the centres and see how he goes? Or put Philip Semi in the centres or put Thompson on the wing. I feel like you've got to get Thompson in this team somewhere. So I've got Corey Thompson in the centres. In the halves, Ash Taylor and Jamal Fogarty. Now, obviously, I've got Ash Taylor at 5'8", simply because there isn't many other good options for the Titans in the halves. They've only got the 2 halves at the moment. They haven't got a lot of great depth in that position, which is a concern. But, you know, Ash Taylor last year, I thought he was quite poor, didn't do a whole lot, and I think he needs to really improve his game a lot, because at the moment, he is nowhere near the elite halves in the game, and I think he's a long way off on being an elite player. But there isn't many options for this Gold Coast halves combination, so I've gone with Ash Taylor at 6, but I could easily put Peachy at 6 if I wanted to. Halfback, Jamal Fogarty, probably their best half last year, carried Ash Taylor most of the year last year, and I thought Jamal Fogarty was quite strong last year, and I'm looking forward to seeing his improvement and his development going into next year. So good Jamal Fogarty playing halfback. The front row, Mo Fotuaika and Jared Wallace. Now, Mo Fotuaika is a really good young front rower. Played Origin late last year. Clearly wasn't ready. A bit like Philip Semi. Just got rushed into the side. Weren't really ready for that sort of level yet. But I think Mo Fotuaika is a player of the future. And he will probably improve as the years go on. So Mo Fotuaika is a player that I think will definitely get better. So I got him in the front row. Along with Jared Wallace. Now, Jared Wallace, I think he's under a little bit of pressure. Needs to improve a little bit more. Hasn't been that great for the last couple of years or so. So hopefully we'll see Jared Wallace improve a little bit more this year. So I got him in the front row with Fotuaika. The hooker, at this stage, is Mitch Rein. There's talk about Cameron Smith going over to the Titans, but at this stage, it hasn't even been announced. So Mitch Rein is still currently the hooker for the Titans, and that's probably another thing that the Titans lack is a really good dummy half. Mitch Rein hasn't been good for a very long time now. So the pressure's on Mitch Rein, and hopefully he can bounce back and get into some good form. But at the moment, I've got him at hooker. The back row, David Fifita and Kevin Proctor. Now, David Fifita, from what I understand, he got injured today at training, but he should be right for round one. That David Fifita's problem is he's just going to try and avoid injury. He's had a few injuries so far, and I think he just needs to try and avoid injury, and he'll be a very good first-grade player. But he's on huge money at the Gold Coast now. He's on big money, and he has to perform like a William Kikau or a Angus Crichton. He's got to be on that sort of level. If he doesn't, there's going to be a lot of criticism for David Fifita, but he obviously makes the back row, along with the captain, Kevin Proctor. Now, Kevin Proctor, a fantastic leader, a very good player, always does a great job wherever he plays, back row, lock, bench, don't matter. Kevin Proctor's always been a very strong and tough player, so obviously he's going to be playing in the back row. And at lock, I've got Big Tino Fulsala Malawi. Still can't pronounce that last name, but one day I should be able to get it right. But Tino, a big off-season recruit for the Titans, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Tino goes at the Gold Coast. Titans obviously played well at Melbourne, but now he's at the Gold Coast. A lot more pressure on Tino, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes this year. So obviously I've got him at lock. And on the bench, I've got the utility player, the Jersey 14, Tyrone Peachey. A fairly underrated player, Peachey. Probably needs to figure out what his best position is, but I think he needs to just make the number 14 position his own. Come on the field and just play wherever he gets put to play. He's a very good utility player, Peachey, but probably needs to step up a little bit more, Tyrone Peachey. So got him on the bench. The two front rows to come on and play in the middle when Wallace and Fotuaika get tired. I've gone with Herman Esiesi and Sam Lusoni. Now, Herman Esiesi, pretty good bench play, always been better off the bench. Herman Esiesi's been at a few clubs now, and I think he'll do well for the Titans off the bench. But if Jared Wallace doesn't play well, then they might swap up a little bit. But I think Herman Esiesi is in for a good season, and he's a pretty good player. I've always liked Herman Esiesi, so he makes the bench. Sam Lusoni left the Warriors and the Storm. I think he was at Melbourne last year. Now he's up at the Gold Coast. We'll see how he goes. He's a bit of an unproven player. Hasn't done a whole lot in his career. Hasn't really shown that he's that really good player. But we'll see how he goes at the Titans. So he makes the bench. And the last player I got is Beau Fermor. Now, he played a little bit of back row on the left side last year for the Titans. And I thought he was actually quite strong, Beau Fermor. So I'm looking forward to seeing his development this year. So I've got him on the bench. And the reserve players, Sam McIntyre, I reckon he could be in the 17, Sam McIntyre, but at this stage, I've got him in the reserves. He left the West Tigers, and he's now up at the Gold Coast Titans, so we'll see how he goes, but I've got him as 18th man probably at the moment, along with Tanner Boyd. If there's an injury to Ash Taylor or Fogarty or even Peachey or Mitch Rein, the Tanner Boyd would probably come in if that was the case, but at this stage, I've got him in the reserves. And the two other falls I got for backup is Jamin Jolliffe and Sam Stone. Jamin Jolliffe played a few games last year. Doesn't look like a bad player. I think he'll improve a bit. So I've got him in the reserves as well. He'll probably get a little bit of game time this year. And the last player I got is Sam Stone. He's a bit of a back rower as well. He's not a bad player to watch out for, Sam Stone. He was at Newcastle for a while. Played at the Gold Coast last year. Not a bad player to keep an eye out for. So he makes the last play in the reserves. But anyway, guys, that's my Gold Coast Titans 2021 predicted team. Let me know in the comment section below what your Gold Coast Titans 2021 predicted team is. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. This is the third video done for today. Hope you guys have enjoyed 3 videos on a Tuesday. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'll be on Instagram Live. I'll be on Instagram Live at 8:30 New South Wales time, 7:30 Queensland time. It's currently 7:40 now. I'll be on there in about 45 minutes or so. So until then, guys, have a fantastic Tuesday night. I'll see you guys on Instagram Live in a little bit. And thanks for watching. Until then, stay safe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.